Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. I am Chair, Commissioner Krista Yoakum. To my right is Vice Chair, Commissioner Sean Flowerday, and to my left is Commissioner Rick Vest. Please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, you may begin.
Location announcement of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall of the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available for electronic viewing from the county clerk's staff. Printing options are available upon request. These materials can also be viewed at the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on November 14th, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I see no further discussion. Please call the roll.
Vest.
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Yoakum.
And I abstain. I wasn't present.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 2, claims. 2A, approval of the claims of processed through November 21st, 2023. And a note for the commissioners, there's an amendment for payroll.
I would move approval of the claims process through November 21st, 2023, and amend it to include payroll disbursements processed through November 15th, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims, including the payroll disbursements. Please call the roll.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Yoakum.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 2B, approval of a claim to the Mediation Center in the amount of $3,650.
I'm going to abstain on this.
Oh, of course, and I will move approval.
And I will second that so we can move it forward.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Abstain.
Yoakum.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 3, consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are the approval of A, right-of-way contracts with the following: Joan K. Kuster, Northwest 140th Street and West Adams Street, in the amount of $1,067.50. Thomas C. Donahue, Life Estate, and Casper L. Hornung, Larry D. Hornung, Janice M. Hornung, and Joni King, Raymond Road and North 1st Street, in the amount of $1,392.50. Casper L. Hornung, Raymond Road, North 1st Street, in the amount of $1,497.50. Catherine C. and Marvin W. Nielsen, Northwest 140th Street and West Adams Street, in the amount of $1,842.50. Phyllis Ackley, North 112th Street and Alvo Road, in the amount of $167.50. Catholic Bishop of Lincoln, North 112th Street and Alvo Road, in the amount of $167.50. Brenda Holling, North 112th Street and Davie Road, in the amount of $1,422.50. And Landworth Shaft LLC, Ash Hollow Channel west of Waverly, in the amount of $1,575. B, utility permits allowing Bauer Underground Incorporated under project management of JEO Consulting Group to install underground ductwork for future installation of communication cable for ARPA Broadband Phase 4 for the following: 2458 Run 22 and 2457 Run 21. And then C, change order number 1 to county contract C-23-0333 with JJK Construction, LLC, for additional pile cutoff work.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Please call the roll.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Yoakum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to item 4, new business. 4A, A special designated license application for Farmside Weddings and Events LLC for a Christmas shopping event at Rocaberry Farms, 16531 South 38th Street, Roca, for on December 15th and 16th, 2023.
Good morning. We'd love to hear, if you please identify yourself, and then we'd love to hear a little bit about your event.
I'm Jordan Schaefer here with Rocaberry Farm and Farmside Weddings and Events, and it'll be December 15th and 16th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And so it's a pretty big, large area that we're trying to get the SDL for, but we're utilizing a lot of pre-existing fencing that we already have up, so we won't have to have as much fencing brought in. And so, yeah, we'll have security, we'll have a bar at each of the main buildings, at Creekside, the Harvest Barn, and then the Pioneer Barn. And so we'll have security at each of those, and then also kind of roaming. The entry is the same as the pumpkin patch, so yeah.
Well, you're certainly demonstrated you're able to handle large events out there, so sounds like an exciting December addition to the facility.
We hope so. Weather permitting. I mean, it's going to be a rain or shine event, just because we have a ton of local vendors that are planning on this and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully it'll be fun and the weather won't be too bad.
There you go.
You just never know.
You just never know.
Opportunity for our citizens to show some resiliency and go to Rocaberry.
Boom. That's what we need.
I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. I see no further discussion. Please call the
Awesome.
roll.
Vest.
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Great day.
Item 4B, reappointment of Colleen Ogden to the Lincoln Lancaster County Keno Prevention Fund Advisory Board for the term commencing on January 1st, 2024 and ending on December 31st, 2026.
I would move approval.
I would heartily second. I've worked with Colleen, and very informed individual, well aware of the issues going on in our county, and is just a very positive addition to this.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Item 4C, a resolution for a comprehensive plan conformance number 23013, adopting the 1 and 6 year road and bridge construction program for Lancaster County, fiscal years 2024 and 2025 through 2029.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So this is the annual item where we're approving this to the comprehensive plan. And just for sport, I brought the overhead shot from the 1 and 6, showing the list of projects that we completed or are nearing completion, as we've been graced with a really awesome fall. And so I'm really proud of this work. This is a heck of a lot of work for one construction season, and we're getting ready to go for another one.
It's felt like a lot of work, even just from where we're sitting. I'm sure it's really felt like a lot of work from where you're sitting.
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Item 4D, contract with Constructors Incorporated to perform paving work on South 98th Street from Old Cheney to A Street. The cost of the county is $769,026.75.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. As I've previously advised the board, when we do federal aid projects, at some point the state sends us an invoice and they ask for their money for the project up front. Good news in this case is we, as the county, have already sent an invoice to the city of Lincoln for their share of this, and to Madall Development for their share of the money, which is about $150,000. So I'm super stoked that we're going to be able to get 3 miles of paving for just a little over $600,000 in this case. So that's significant.
Tremendous accomplishment. It's good to be at this point. I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to 4E, contract with JMN Construction LLC to replace County Bridge N114 South 91st Street in Denton. The cost of the county is not to exceed $607,209.99.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. There once was a little bridge built with used bridge parts for $500 after a flood. That little bridge has served us well, but its life is definitely well past what we would call a useful life cycle. This contract is to replace this bridge with used T-beams that I was able to acquire from Concrete Industries for $1. We have the beams, we're ready to go with this. The contractor would like to actually go early with this, so I anticipate an early start, and we've been coordinating that, of course, with the Village of Denton.
More good news. I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to item 4F, a release of easement for utilities with Hickman Ridge Estates, Block 1, Lots 9 and 10.
Good morning, John Berry, Lancaster County Engineering. This is a request to release an easement located in Hickman Ridge Estates Addition. This addition is located just a little bit over a mile north of the city of Hickman. This particular lots are being redivided or replatted. The existing easement that they're requesting and lot line is shown in yellow. The new lot lines proposed is going to be in here, show here and here, and will contain a 15-foot utility easement, so a little bit larger. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So, John, just to be clear, we're granting an easement to utility companies so they have access to get into this area?
In general, when subdivisions are platted, that's part of the dedication. In this particular case, this easement in yellow has already been dedicated. We're releasing our interest in that easement. The other utility companies, the gas company, they have already released their easement. When this new addition is replatted, we will have a new 15-foot easement through there, so 7.5 feet.
Okay.
So we're really just changing it from one location to another, making it a little bit larger.
Okay, and because that is more
Yep.
effective for future
Correct.
purposes.
And we release these basically because if we don't, we still technically have a right to them. And if they would build a house there or build something on there, at some point, we could technically maybe have them remove their house or bore under it or do something along that line. So generally, these are part of the requirement we have when we do our review cycle of these new additions.
Appreciate it, thank you. I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to 4G, a memorandum of understanding with Hoffling Enterprises Incorporated for routine and storm-related wood disposal services. Cost of the county is not to exceed $100,000.
All right, move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to 4H, grant contract with the Lancaster County Agricultural Society, allowing Lancaster County to expend up to $1,250,000 from the county visitors improvement funds to be utilized for a project to expand and improve infrastructure facilities at the Lancaster Events Center.
If I could, I would
Thank you.
like to, first of all, I would move that we approve this grant contract, but there are several factors here that I think deserve a little bit of attention. The visitor improvement funds are taxes gathered from folks who stay in our hotels within our county. And these funds are set aside to support projects that draw more people into our county and add more money into our local economy. I think everyone agrees that the Lancaster County Event Center has been a big driver with a number of events, both long-term and particularly recently. And so this is an opportunity not just to grant money for improvements there, but also to achieve matching funds from the state of Nebraska. Hence, the 1.25 million will become 2.5 million.
Right.
So Therefore, I'm glad to move approval of this contract.
Glad to second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to 4I, a mini grant contract application with the Nebraska Department of Transportation for the County Sheriff's Office to participate in the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over mobilization in the amount of $11,055.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this mini grant. Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to public comment. Those wishing to speak on items related to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Testing 1, 2. Similar to last week. Nebraska State Constitution Preamble. We the people, grateful to Almighty God for our freedom, do ordain and establish the following Declaration of Rights and frame of government as the Constitution of the State of Nebraska. Article 1, Section 1, which you all took an oath to support, including Sheriff Wagner, who claims he's not who claims he's not a defender of our Constitution, despite having taken an oath to do so. Go figure. Anyway, quoting Article 1, Section 1, all persons are by nature free and independent and have certain inherent and inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and the right to keep and bear arms, and such rights shall not be denied or infringed by the state or any subdivision thereof. You are a subdivision. To secure these rights and the protection of property, governments are instituted among people, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Article 1, Section 22, there shall be no hindrance or impediment to the right of a qualified voter to exercise the elective franchise. Thomas Paine, one of our revolutionaries, wrote the following in a dissertation on first principles of representative government. Quoting, "The true and only true basis of representative government is equality of rights. The right of voting for representatives is the primary right by which other rights are protected. To take away this right is to reduce a man to slavery." He goes on to say, "The strength and permanent security of a government or of government is in proportion to the number of people interested in supporting it. The true policy, therefore, is to interest the whole by an equality of rights, for the danger arises from exclusions. It is possible to exclude men from the right of voting, but it is impossible to exclude them from the right of rebelling against that exclusion. And when all other rights are taken away, the right of rebellion is made perfect." End quote. If you didn't catch his drift there, the right of rebellion is the right of revolution. As it stands right now, you are facing a rebellion. More and more people every day are becoming fed up with supporting what you call government. You have excluded the people of Lancaster County from the right of voting, inasmuch as you have excluded us from the right of equally exercising the elective franchise. You have allowed a very small group of people to decide that they can take our votes and count them in secret. That is not an equality of rights in the exercise of our elective franchise. Moreover, it produces no evidence whatsoever that our representatives are actually being selected by we the people rather than selected by those few who are counting our votes in secret. If we are not equal when it comes to exercising our elective franchise, we are not equal anywhere. Thomas Jefferson would call you usurpers, abusers, despots, and tyrants. If we continue down this road of taxation without real representation, otherwise known as legal theft, for much longer, it is going to blow up in our faces, and we are going to find ourselves at 1776 all over again. We have $33 trillion of debt, which we can never pay off, and a literal foreign army has already been allowed to cross our southern border, all because we don't have real representation. Common men aren't that stupid. Government has done this to us. You could help stop this madness by giving us back our voice, but you won't, because you've decided to bow down and cower at the feet of tyrants like Evnan and Bina, then stand and defend the rights of the common people of our state as our Constitution requires. It is a very sad, sad situation. I hope you sleep well at night.
Is there anyone else present wishing to speak during public comment? Please come forward, identify yourself, sign in.
I've already signed in.
And then you'll recognize that we do have the timer, so.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm signed in. Thomas Keith Morgan II, members of the board, I rise again to make a special appearance for those in the public that cannot be here to attend a public meeting, because it's at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Bringing a voice to the voiceless. Your paperwork here states on the first page, those wishing to speak on items specific to today's agenda are asked to do so when the time is called by the county clerk. Third paragraph, those wishing to speak on items relating to other county business not on the agenda may speak during the public comment portion. I'm former military, so I think about timing and headspace and stuff like that. That's headspace and timing on a weapon system. So the timing is off, and the timing needs to be corrected, because it's a public hearing, but no one has the time because they're out working and making the taxes and the money that you guys are deciding to spend for them. Good or bad, that's your job to decide. But they don't have the opportunity to come in and give the comment because the timing is off. Last week, Mr. Flowerday stated that this is a public hearing. He stated that, but the public's not here to speak because they're busy working, keeping the city moving. Right? Right. That's what they do. You need to make it more available for the public to stand up and speak so their voice can be heard, and you don't have to have people coming in to speak on their behalf. They can speak for themselves if allotted the time. Many people bring up Executive Order 13848. I brought that up on the record in court from behind the bar in South Dakota, stating that. And that states that in the event that there's interference in foreign elections, that, certain actions have to occur. Certain actions are occurring. I attended a course one time, National Security Services, Special Applications and Servers, Application, and Processors, real-time data manipulation. So there are those of us out there that are familiar with the process, extraction, transformation, loading. I could pull up my old curriculum vitae and get it on the record if anybody would like. So we know, and I'm also 100% service-disabled veteran, permanent total. That's indefinite. I also had queries about definitions and terms for this meeting. As we said, public servants, what you guys are elected to do, private citizens, belligerents, and law of armed conflict, where you have a duty under the law of armed conflict. Just reminding you that there are those of us out there that read and know and have been doing this for 3 years. When other people were put in fear with the SARS corona that turned into COVID-19 because of the shot, Some of us weren't paying attention to that and listening, and we're still here, we're still alive, standing on our own 2 feet, working on that status and standing for the rest of the people, the public, that don't have the time to be here. So I'd encourage you all to consider changing the time from 9 a.m. on a Tuesday to a time that's more reasonable for the public to come and advocate for themselves. Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak this morning during public comment? Seeing none, we can proceed with the announcements.
Announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will not hold a staff meeting on Thursday, November 23rd, 2023, due to the Thanksgiving holiday. The next staff meeting will be held on Thursday, November 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, November 28th, 2023 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on LNK TV. LNK TV is available in Allo Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 1300. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. LNK TV apps are also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Brings us to adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will now begin the Board of Equalization meeting for Lancaster County Board for Tuesday, November 21st.
Location announcement of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available for electronic viewing from the county clerk's staff. Printing options are available upon request. These materials can also be viewed at the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Brings us to item 1, the minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, November 7th, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Item 2 is the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to item 3, our public hearings for the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. We have 3 for the Lincoln Cats Youth Group, the Lincoln Lutheran School Association, and Vital Services Incorporated.
We will now open the public hearing on these motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Is there anyone present wishing to speak? Seeing none, we will now close the public hearing.
Brings us to item 4, action on the following, the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Brings us to item 5, public comment. Those wishing to speak on items related to County Board of Equalization business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Is there anyone present wishing to speak during public comment? Seeing none,
Last
Move we adjourn.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Motion carries. We're adjourned.